Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our 2023 Flying Kiwi founded the first company with a $100 withdrawal from the credit card, which they colorfully describe as bootstrapping the business. 12 years later, they sold it for $160 million US, so the initial investment seems to have paid off. The initial investment or business came from the realization in 1990 in London that the new era of computers brought new opportunities for automation. They put an ad in the Financial Times one Saturday and waited for the phone to ring, but it didn't. On Monday, they came close to pulling out and writing off their investment, but then suddenly, orders started to flood in. Nearly 50 orders for a product that hadn't been written. Over the next 2 years, they scaled to 10,000 customers and moved the business to the US, where they continued to scale and grow before eventually exiting to IBM in 2003. Not content to sit on their laurels, this year's Flying Kiwi decided to go again in 2008 and created a new cloud-based platform which became one of the fastest growing software companies in the US, listing on the New York Stock Exchange in 2018 until it went private again in 2022 with a valuation of over $10 billion. This Flying Kiwi, or should we say these Flying Kiwi, really know how to build value. Tonight's Flying Kiwi were a power couple in business and life. Both brought up in New Zealand. They met at the Takapuna tennis court in 1970 and started dating. It wasn't going to be a straight path through when one of them upgraded to a national tennis player instead, so they went their separate ways for a while. One to become a teacher at Takapuna Grammar, and the other an army officer in the UK. They connected again in New York and hit it off, culminating in the agreement to go into business together. Tonight's Flying Kiwi have built significant companies together in Adaytum and Anaplan, as well as being some of the first investors into iconic Kiwi companies like Xero, and more recently, supercomputing company Nyraid, medical cannabis pioneer Helius Therapeutics, and solar farm company Lodestone Energy. Current interests include building a unique eco-sanctuary in Northland, celebrating New Zealand's natural environment, walking many of Europe's great hikes, and the support of many charities for cancer and youth development. There have been significant donors to the New Zealand School, the National Youth Theatre, and New Zealand Outward Bound Trust, among others. It is bittersweet celebration tonight as we recognize the significant contribution and success of our Flying Kiwi, but also in remembrance of one of them, gone too soon after she passed from cancer in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we remember her as we celebrate the success of our two 2023 Flying Kiwi serial tech entrepreneurs, Sue and Guy Haddleton.
Well, that was a little longer than I expected. Thank you, High Tech Trust. Thank you, everybody here. I'm honored to accept this award for us. It was most unexpected when I was approached. We are two Kiwis who were driven to be entrepreneurs and in doing so, actually found ourselves in the land of technology. In 1990, Sue, a master communicator, gifted opera singer, and equipped with brilliant people management skills, partnered with me, a former Special Forces Army officer, Otago MBA, financially broke, but deeply driven to build a business of substance. We were 35 years old, and our luck, besides a perfect business partnership, was that my MBA thesis in 1983 was all about the spreadsheet, its strengths and weaknesses. Our first company, Adaytum, started life in Bristol, England, with a Financial Times classified ad for £49 spreadsheet templates. When we sold the company 12 years later, it evolved into a US-based enterprise planning platform with 350 employees, and our last customer deal exceeded $10 million. We had learned how to build a good software company. Now it was time to get serious. Anaplan was a rinse and repeat of Adaytum, exploiting the technological shift into cloud computing, and enabled by one, a deep understanding of the product market challenges we had to resolve. Two, fortuitously, we had established a strong global network of developers, consultants, salesmen, partners who wanted to join us. And thirdly, just a desire to get it right. And right it was. We were in the right place at the right time. We spent 6 years leading operationally, then decided to return to New Zealand to help New Zealand companies enter the global stage while retaining a governance role with Anaplan. Today, I'm intimately involved with 3 high-growth New Zealand companies, where we are co-founders at Lodestone Energy, building solar farms across New Zealand. We're lead investors at Nyraid, revolutionizing data storage through GPUs. And finally, lead investor at Helius Therapeutics, breeding medicinal cannabis to this country and to the world. And I'd like to say one thing about that. There were 6, the Drug Foundation produced a report last year identifying 600,000 people in New Zealand who take cannabis every year. 40% of them are for medicinal purposes. Only 16,000 people are on prescriptions. We've got a gap, and we've got to solve that. But getting back to my story, of those companies, those 3 companies, each has consumed between $75 million and $100 million of capital. And I expect at least one of them will be a $10 billion business sometime in the next 10 years. The other 2, of course, will be billion-dollar businesses. So what does it take to build a $10 billion business? Of course, the people, product, positioning, market opportunity, funding, performance are all important attributes. But there is one criteria that trumps all others. What is it? It's the quality of the CEO. An A-plus CEO will recruit an extraordinary leadership team, then continuously upgrade that team. Most don't. Build a passionate culture around that opportunity and will deliver results in a timely manner to ultimately secure that $10 billion outcome. For that same opportunity, an A-minus CEO will probably deliver a $1 billion outcome, and a B-grade CEO will probably deliver a $100 million outcome. Sobering, isn't it? So to all those CEOs who desire to build a $10 billion company, I say one thing: know thyself. But not everybody here is building a large megatech company. Most of you wish to build a solid business representing the opportunity you're chasing. Being an entrepreneur is tough, and you'll face many challenges, and perhaps have a defining moment, as we did once at Adaytum. It was back in 1992, and we'd entered into a 50-50 partnership with the developer of an enterprise planning platform to replace our template business where growth had stalled and unit profitability was non-existent. Early into our partnership, I had sold just one very small enterprise package, about £10,000 worth. Then nothing. For 6 months, we were dry. Technically, we were insolvent. And when I received a letter from the IRD advising they would place the company into receivership, my heart sunk. I carefully read that 4-page letter of dense, small type. And in the last paragraph, it stated, "You have 28 days to pay." I rushed through the business. We have credit. We have credit. We're okay. Let's go for it. Soon I sat down that night and we examined the opportunity this presented. As she said, we can't continue as we are. So we decided, then and there, to cease all active selling and marketing of the template business. We created a new ad for immediate publication, and we focused everybody to get me in front of enterprise prospects. 2 weeks later, I was presenting to 30 folks from Dairycraft, that's the Fonterra of New Zealand, whose investment bankers had mandated an enterprise-wide financial plan for the public offering some months later. At the end of the meeting, I inquired into next steps. They said, "Well, you're the first, but we need to see IBM, Hyperion, Oracle, all the usual suspects next week." During the presentation, I had built a subset of their model in front of them, representing most of their requirements. So I took a deep breath and observed, "You mentioned that the bankers need the draft plan in 2 weeks. The IPO is scheduled for 12 weeks. If we don't start Monday, you'll have to delay the IPO. And our competitors will take 3 to 6 months to satisfy your requirements using their legacy solution." You might as well stuff it. You might as well get into your competitors once in a while. And then, sensing an opportunity, I asked, "How many of you have been in this room together before?" "Well, there's 30 of us here." "Never," replied the senior person. "Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm downstairs to the cafeteria. You folks discuss what you saw, whether we're fit for purpose, and do you want to start Monday or do you want to delay the IPO?" I seized that moment to keep all 30 in that room to have a discussion. I walked back into the room 90 minutes later. "Can you start Monday with 6 consultants?" "Absolutely." Knowing that I didn't have one consultant on the payroll. I rushed out to the car park, found a good old English red telephone box, and called Sue. "We need 6 consultants for Monday. Ad in the paper tonight." It was Tuesday. "Let's interview Wednesday, Thursday. Appoint Friday. Train over Saturday, Sunday. On-site Monday." And so we did. 6 consultants duly arrived Monday. A £1 million contract was signed and in our hands. Our company saved. I'd learned how to sell, and 3 more contracts were achieved in the next 30 days. This story highlights many aspects of a young company's journey. Primarily, the law of focus. Just do one thing and do it very, very well. Resilience, a can-do attitude, flexibility, a team at work. It was our defining moment, and we've never looked back. Over the last 30 years, we've had an extraordinary journey through the landscape of technology, building or helping to build technology companies winning on the global stage. And there's been one motto central to our success: recruit outstanding talent, share the vision, let them fly. To summarize, success is about people. The people you recruit, how you enable them, how you coach them, how you replace them at the right time to build winning teams. Congratulations to all the finalists and winners here tonight. The stories I've heard so far have been inspiring, and it's great to see New Zealand tech in a great place. I wish you all the greatest of success. Thank you.